Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or whenever you are joining this recorded webinar today. I'd like to thank you for joining me to learn more about online graduate business programs at Clarkson University. My name is Josh Lefebvre, and I am the Director of Graduate Business Programs here. And I'm going to walk you through some of important information about our online MBA program and the online MS in supply chain offered here through the Graduate Business Office and the Reh School of Business. So thank you for joining me. And after watching this video, if you'd like to visit with me offline, my contact information will be at the end. And we can certainly schedule an individual call and learn more about your goals and help walk you through if our programs are a good fit for what you're looking to do. So the Office of Graduate Business Programs just like to share information about our team because that a lot of the time that you'll be visiting with the Reh School of Business will either be with myself or Nick Anatanio, Senior MBA Recruiter and Systems Manager, and Tanya Kanto, our Graduate Coordinator and Assistant Advisor. Tanya is also a main point of contact in that she does a lot of the advising for our online students. So between her and I, one of us will be able to answer any questions that you have about coursework going through the entire duration of the program. So I'd like to introduce the three and know that these are folks that will be here all throughout your journey of both considering the program and being a part of it as well. So today, here's what I'm hoping to cover with this recorded webinar is overview of the programs within the Reh School of Business at the graduate level. And specifically today, we're going to talk about the online MBA program, our new online MS and supply chain program launching this June 2020. But also, I think it's important that we share our approach to online learning at Clarkson and resources available to you as an online student. It is important that we ensure you have a positive learning experience and that the quality of what you're taking away from the program is the same as our residential program, taught by the same faculty, but also the resources that you might need to be successful both in the program as well as career searches and other avenues of what you're looking to do once you're completed with the program. We're going to talk about the admissions requirements for the Reh School of Business graduate programs and definitely talk about costs and our merit scholarship program and wrap up from there. There certainly might be other questions that you have after today, but again, please feel free to reach out. We'll certainly be happy to talk with you. So let's get right into the online MBA program. Excuse me, we're going to talk about all of the programs. So online within the Reh School of Business, we have our MBA, our MS in Supply Chain Management, our Healthcare MBA program, and that's a 48 credit hour program. It's also offered online or hybrid in our Schenectady CRC campus. We will not be talking about that one particularly today, but certainly can help share information with you. The MS Healthcare Data Analytics, and then we do have two certificate programs that are pathways into the MBA, and that includes coursework that would transfer into the MBA programs upon completion. On site, we have our residential MBA program, which is an accelerated 9-month MBA. Our healthcare MBA, as I mentioned, is a hybrid, so you can take courses online and in person. And then we have an MS in clinical leadership, also available at the Schenectady Capital Region campus for Clarkson University. So for the online programs today, we're going to talk about the online MBA program. The nice thing as far as the format of this program is that it is very similar to our residential MBA in terms of the core foundations of what you're going to learn in the MBA. It is a 42 credit hour program that's comprised of 10 core courses as well as 4 electives. So in the core courses, again, these are the same core courses as far as the discipline and subject matter as the residential. They're all 3 credit courses. And these courses are set up a little bit different in the residential in the sense that you do not need to have satisfied a prerequisite requirement to go into this program. Whereas the residential MBA assumes that you've taken introductory knowledge or completed introductory courses and obtained knowledge in these disciplines. So intro to accounting courses and operations management for things like supply chain, macroeconomics for the managerial economics. So in the residential accelerated program, there's assumption that you have those completed, where here, for those that are working professionals are not able to go into a residential program, you're able to do this without having to have those backgrounds of having completed those courses, because the foundations or the introductory level concepts are actually a part of these courses, and that's where that additional credit comes into play. And the way that the courses are constructed is that they build upon one another and help you be successful, because again, you're learning the basics, learning those foundation concepts that will help you for the more advanced topics. And then of course, as you get towards the end of the course and doing projects and coursework, you certainly will be well equipped for that. This also addresses the concept of what we know as the business acumen. And when we think about an MBA program in its original intent, which was never just for business students to learn more business, but the goal is really twofold. The first is for you to learn these advanced concepts, understand how they relate to the operations of a company, what the impact is on other different areas, and how that all leads into the important strategic business decisions that companies make. But I think the most important thing is that it's not just about learning more or learning more difficult content or whatnot, but it's helping you understand the integration of the various disciplines, functional areas of business, how they interact with one another, and how a manager, a leader really needs to work in a very, I don't want to use a collaborative way, but it allows them to really think through a particular situation or make a strategic plan that emphasizes all of these and integrates them, and what is the interplay between them, and knowing what the impact is, and allowing that person to really think through all of that collaboratively. And that's why you'll see most MBA programs have strategic management or capstone courses that really challenge you to bring all of that together into a cohesive analysis or project that looks at the macro side of a business, where you're really trying to solve a difficult situation that really forces and challenges you to think through all of the other different things that you've learned. It's about integrating it and giving you the flexibility and the know-how how to integrate the various decisions that a leader needs to make with all of these different disciplines in business. Then you'll complete 4 electives, and I'll talk about some potential areas of concentration that you'll want to complete to wrap up the 42 credit hour program. As far as prerequisites, while you do not need to have prerequisite coursework or foundations coming into the program, there is a little bit of sequencing associated with these core requirements. Global supply chain management does need to be completed prior to the decision analysis and supply chain modeling. So under advisement, we would ensure that you are aligning everything accordingly. In addition, it's recommended that you take the financial and managerial accounting before the financial management, as well as the economics, because some of the nature of the coursework, it does build upon one another. We would certainly advise you to try to align it in that way. However, it's not necessarily a core piece requirement, so we do work individually with each student based on their progressions and when they're taking courses. The only hard and fast prerequisite is the supply chain and the decision analysis. So these 14 courses make up the 42 credit hour online MBA program. As far as coursework examples of some electives that you would take and concentrate on, we offer global supply chain management, entrepreneurship courses, leadership courses, as well as the opportunity to take coursework from other disciplines in data analytics, as well as healthcare. In many cases, students might choose to pursue some of this coursework of interest in the work that they do or the industry that they're in, but it also sometimes leads to pursuing a combined master's programs, where then they will receive the MBA as well as an MS in data analytics as an example. So in the 4 electives, you could choose from a lot of these different areas. We also have folks that might have completed coursework at other institutions that you could transfer in potentially. So The electives are really that, electives. And we try to be flexible and understand where your career goals are, and work with you to try to identify courses that will help build the right skill set for the work that you're doing now or hope to do in the future. Fast facts about the online MBA. Our online programs operate on what we call the quarter system. There are 4 quarters in the year, and they are winter, beginning in January, spring quarter, beginning in March, summer quarter, beginning in June, and fall quarter, which begins in September. With the 14 courses, the typical progression is 2 courses per quarter, and that is just shy of a 2-year program. And that assumes that you're persisting each of those quarters. In 2 years, you would essentially finish in the end of the summer quarter of that second year, unless you were to take additional coursework, as I mentioned earlier, leading towards a dual or combined degree. As I mentioned earlier, there's no business coursework required for admission, and we do require 1 3-day residency, and you have 2 locations and times of the year that you can elect to do that. If I go back quickly to the schedule of the program, down in the bottom left of your screen, you'll see leadership and organizational behavior. That course is where the 3-credit on-campus requirement exists. The reason for that is to ensure that as we're talking through those various topics, you'll have an opportunity to meet your classmates and go through simulations or other experiences that, especially when we talk about leadership and organizational culture and organizational ecology, how does all of that play out? And then sometimes case studies or simulations where you're in person is really a great way to do that. We also think it's very important, as we look at an online MBA, to offer an opportunity for you to meet the folks that you're going through the program with, that you're doing the online course with, and really have a chance to visit with faculty and all of the people that support you while you're doing all of the coursework online. In the summer quarter in June, we offer this course where you would actually come up here to Potsdam at the private main campus in Potsdam, New York. And in the fall, we will offer the course in Schenectady, New York, which is near Albany. And that is at our Capital Region campus building and with the same faculty member. But it's, again, an opportunity, depending on where you live and the time of the year that might work best for you. We do offer those 2 options. And again, so that's 1 3-day weekend residency, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that is the only residency requirement for the entire program. This program has been recognized by U.S. News and World Report, as well as other variety of news agencies and other entities that really look at the quality of programs, especially in today's day and age with the advent of technology and the institution's commitment to ensuring that online education is at the same quality and rigor as our residential programs. And again, we've been recognized multiple times as a top program, top 70 program in the entire U.S. for online MBAs. As I mentioned earlier, while there are always different opportunities to look at coursework that is complementary or creating a skill set that works well for your career goals, one of the most popular ones is the combined MBA and MS in data analytics. What happens with a combined program is that there are shared courses. And essentially, by completing an additional 7 courses after the completion of your online MBA, you can earn an MS in data analytics. So that's 21 additional credits, whereas someone pursuing only the MS in data analytics would be pursuing a 33 credit hour program. So we're saving the 12 hours there, but you'll walk away with both degrees. Beginning this June, we will be launching our online MS in supply chain management. While the program is new, the coursework is not new, and much other than a few courses, but the program itself has been extended beyond the coursework that already exists in the online program. But even more importantly, it is the faculty that have created supply chain management curriculum, both an undergraduate and graduate here, But also a part of something we celebrate is that the supply chain management curriculum has been ranked as a top 20 program for multiple years, 16 to be exact. So this is a natural extension of our offerings for those that are specifically working in the supply chain field, logistics fields, and are looking for very focused coursework that is tied to their discipline. This is a 11 course, 30 credit hour program. All courses are 3 credits except for the leadership development and supply chain ethics courses. Those are 1.5 credits. There are some of the courses in this program that are pulled from traditional supply chain electives in the online MBA, as well as one course in particular pulled from the data analytics program, given the crossover skill set that's needed. In addition, you'll take advanced supply chain topics and really focused coursework related to logistics, quality management, and really looking at not just content, but strategy, and using all of those skills to build your strength in analysis, and again, building a comprehensive strategy for a company's supply chain needs. This program is also in the quarter-based system and will run in tandem with all of our other online programs. It begins in June 2020, and we are currently accepting applications, and this program is going to be a completely 100% online program. Given the nature of the short duration of the program, there will be no residency requirement. Some fast facts. So completed in 1 to 2 years, no prerequisite coursework required. There will be, as I mentioned in the online MBA, there will be some coursework that you cannot complete until later in your program because it does build upon one another. And then the advanced topics course will typically be the last course that you take. There's no residential component. And as I mentioned, the coursework is developed by the same that have developed our recognition and ranking by US News, best colleges, and so on. It is the first online MS in supply chain in New York State. So a couple of points about online learning at Clarkson University is that we want to be flexible, and the nature of online learning really allows us to look at what is the best time frame, the best structure, and as you I'm sure know, there's a lot of research that suggests all of these things. What we found that works well for us is the quarter-based system. And that's why you don't necessarily take a full load, but you'll take a course or two. And again, we're very flexible with that. If you're using financial aid to help support your education, there are minimum enrollment requirements, and that is 2 classes per quarter. But if your employer will be reimbursing you or other means that you do not need financial aid, we work with you to enroll in as few as 1 course to up to 3 courses per quarter if that's something that is available to you. It's accessible. So the program admissions and the curriculum acknowledges the experienced professional. Now we'll talk about the admissions requirements and what I mean by that. But the curriculum is also set up in a way that supports the working professional and allows for, yes, the gaining of new knowledge, but also the hope that the working professional will be able to bring in their own experiences, the things that they've learned, and their ideas based on, what they've actually done. And that is also a part of the learning experience. And that's why in the online environment, you'll see things such as maybe live class, which we'll talk about, or forums or other opportunities where you'll actually be sharing what you've experienced. And it's efficient with 4 quarters, multiple offerings of a course in a calendar year, and a succinct curriculum. Our goal is to get you in, get to work, complete your degree in timeframes that are very competitive. And we say that mainly because we want you to know that our programs were crafted based on the residential programs. We're committed to ensuring that the curriculum is exactly the same. Many of the faculty that teach in the online programs also teach in our residential programs. So you can be sure that the coursework has been established in very similar ways, obviously adjusting some of the pedagogy based on how we can deliver an online course. So we use the platform's Moodle, which is a learning management system. And then there are also products called Adobe Connect or Zoom. Zoom is actually what I'm using right now to record this webinar, but it also is used by companies throughout the nation. It's WebEx, like WebEx for those of you that might be familiar with that. But Adobe Connect and Zoom allow us to do a lot of really critical things. Some of that is live video, some of it is breakout group work or polling, or sharing of screens, obviously, annotating live. A lot of really great tools available to us so that when we are teaching, we're teaching real time. Every class does have a live component requirement. That is typically at least 1 hour every week during the quarter, and it's always at night. So it might be Tuesday nights at 6:30, uh, Wednesday nights at 7. Really this is something that you'll know ahead of time. In some cases, a faculty member might adjust that based on the availability of the class, but it is something that is scheduled, and when you register for the class, here is this established time for this live component. We find that it's very critical to use technology to our advantage to bring what is traditionally only asynchronous coursework to life, even if it's for an hour a week, so that you can see your faculty member, you can visit and see your classmates, and then it becomes real, more real than reading notes on a paper, but actually bringing to life uh, what you're doing asynchronously throughout the week, and then you get to see the people that you're interacting with in real time. Very personal interaction. Uh, Again, because our coursework is capped in terms of enrollment, we try to keep it at a size that is manageable, not only for the faculty, but also for the folks participating, but very personal interaction through the live components, through the forum requirements, or utilizing other various things within Moodle that allows you to bring these things to life. The faculty are highly accessible. They have a lot of experience in teaching online. Many of them actually use Zoom to have virtual office hours. So other than just the 1 hour per week, faculty are very accessible. Some provide their cell phone number on their syllabus. Call them at any time. The virtual office hours is another opportunity where you can just dial in at any time and ask questions. And again, the faculty are always holding office hours and are always available. And they really want to make sure that you feel just as connected as possible as somebody who would come in for class in a real classroom and then come into their office for office hours. Very accessible. And as I mentioned earlier with the quarter-based system, all of our online programs, you can begin at any quarter and you can enroll at your pace, 1 course, 2 courses per quarter. It really is up to you. With the supply chain program, we are beginning that again the June or summer quarter 2020, and we are currently accepting applications for that program. I always like to make sure and talk briefly about resources for online students. While you're in the courses and we talk about the accessibility and the live component and all of the things that really help provide that quality experience, we often have questions from students who might be looking to do the MBA as a career changer, using the degree and the tool sets to launch in a new direction, or those that have never taken an online course that might be nervous. We do offer online program orientations. So for everyone that begins in a program, we do offer exposure to the platforms that will be used, to what to expect, making sure that you can log in and access the various resources that you'll need. We have a very dedicated team of professionals, from registering you for courses and advising to the technical aspects of online education. All of this is something that we pride ourselves in, and making sure that you have what you need, not only to complete the work, but feel confident in doing so. There's additional information in Moodle throughout the course of your time. You can go back and look at the orientation that you might have participated in and really understand and reference different pieces of information that you might have missed or would be good refreshers. As far as career services and support, uh, just because you're enrolled in an online program doesn't mean you don't have the same access as anyone that's in a residential master's program in the Reh School of Business or at Clarkson University. On campus, Clarkson Career Center hosts 2 career fairs a year. Each year, the career fairs grow in size. This past fall, we had 185 companies here on campus recruiting our students. And while for some of you, it might be a trip to come to Potsdam, and we certainly would love to help coordinate that visit, you certainly have access to go to these programs or go to these companies and talk to them and look for career opportunities once you're finished with your program. There is a tool called Handshake, which is where jobs are posted. You can post your resume, and Handshake is a national database. So even though we do post local opportunities and the companies that are visiting here post jobs that they have, you have access to job postings across the nation as well. All of these resources are available to you, and you certainly have access for that. In our Schenectady campus, we also do have an extended member of the Career Center there who works full-time in support of the students that are enrolled and attend courses and have access to getting to Schenectady. So whether you come to Potsdam or you go to Schenectady, you can get career services support there. They all are certainly happy to schedule Zoom calls and do other things associated with traditional services and career services. But I think the other important piece to the nature of these programs is the diversity of those that are enrolled, working professionals, those that are in specialized programs, perhaps those that are looking to start their career. You learn a lot, not just in the coursework and the curriculum because of the program you're in, but also because of the professionals and the experiences there that you have. So you might be in a team assignment in a course with folks that have substantial work experience, and they can also through networking, learn about those opportunities with your classmates. Be referred by a classmate for opportunities at their own firm. I think the important thing about the Clarkson network is that it doesn't just exist before or after, but also during your program. And that's something to be really proud of, is that when you're in the program, you can talk to those that are in the program with you, and everyone wants to help everyone succeed. So that's something to keep in mind too. And given how easy technology allows for things like group work, really is a great opportunity. And you could take things offline, have Zoom calls together, or if you happen to be geographically in similar areas, even get together in person and help each other out. The Office of Graduate Business Programs does the advising for the online MBA and the online MS and supply chain programs. So you'll work with myself and Tanya Kanto. And every quarter, we're here to support you and help you plan for advising. We do plan our courses out a year in advance. So typically you'll have a good idea of what you'll be doing over the next 4 quarters. But sometimes advising is more than just, here's the class. We really want to listen and understand more of what you're looking to do and really think differently about how the coursework can align with supporting any kind of goals you have for yourself and change. In addition, you can be proud to know that our alumni network, 50,000 strong, really are all over the world, all over the country. And as an alum of the Clarkson MBA program, you have access to this alumni network. And you'll have an opportunity to work with alumni relations and hopefully come back for your reunion or participate in KOGO or Cold Out, Gold Out coming home weekend. There are a lot of activities in chapters and things around the state and the country. And I think it's a great opportunity when you're finished with your program or even before you're finished to start networking with alumni and participating in opportunities. So even if you've never come to campus during the course of your online MBA, we'd love for you to come to campus when you're done and participate in activities and get to know some of the folks behind the program that you've completed. As far as admissions requirements, these admissions requirements are the same regardless of whether you are going into the online MBA or the online MS and supply chain. It is consistent across all programs. So the application checklist is the typical application form that's done online. There's an essay or a statement of purpose that really, what it is that you're looking to do with your career and why are you looking at pursuing an MBA? What are you hoping the MBA or the MS in supply chain will do for you in your career? And what are your plans? We ask for the resume, a transcript. Now, you can upload an unofficial transcript for the purpose of evaluation and an admissions decision, but before you matriculate, you will need to provide an official transcript. We do require GMAT or GRE scores, However, we do have policies for waivers and substitution options, and we'd be happy to discuss your particular situation. But you can also go online and download our comprehensive application requirements. But essentially, if you have 5 years or more of professional work experience, we do waive this exam. If you have a master's degree, a professional master's degree already, we do waive the exam. And if you have taken other standardized tests because you thought you were going in a certain direction and the test is still valid, there are some exams that we will also accept in lieu of the GMAT or GRE score. We require 3 letters of recommendation, and these are professional references, not personal. And depending on if you are established in your career, obviously professional references of employers, supervisors, things like that will be important. And, their support, testament of your work experience, your work ethic, all of those different things. If you are someone who has recently graduated, academic faculty are also acceptable. If any of you are listening and are an international student, meaning you are from any other country that is not the US, we do have some specific policies related to the equivalency of a US bachelor's as well as English language requirements. I encourage you to download the comprehensive graduate admissions policies that can be found on our website, or reach out to us at any time and we'd be happy to send those to you and visit with you about those specific things. We offer rolling admissions, so you are able to apply at any time. You can start your application and complete it over time. You do not have to have everything I've discussed together at the same time. Once everything is completed and in, however, we will evaluate you immediately. So because it's rolling on your end, it's rolling on our end. And we do typically try to turn around a decision within 48 hours. The tuition for our online programs is $1,174 per credit. This is the cost without any scholarship aid. And this is something that sometimes we refer to as the, your sticker price, if you will. The online MBA program is at 42 credits, is about $49,000. The MS in supply chain program is about $35,000. You'll also have a non-residential resource fee of $75 per term. However, though these are the costs per credit hour and the overall cost of the program, we do offer merit-based scholarships. These scholarships are offered and given at the time of admission, and this is not something you need to apply for separately. We have 4 anchor points, if you will, for awarding of scholarships, from fellowship, deans, presidential, and trustees. But there's a lot more to just what you see on this screen. The merit-based scholarship program really looks at work experience, it looks at your GMAT and GPA, it looks at the entire application, as well as things like if you submitted another test other than GMAT or GRE. For the GRE, we do translate the scores into the GMAT exam. So these are, again, anchor points that translate into a percentage discount off the cost of the program. So in addition to these, we do have academic and professional excellence awards that are also provided based upon the merits of your application. If someone's GMAT or standardized test is waived, but you do meet the GPA criteria, we will still award the fellowship, at least a fellowship award to students. So even if you do have the GMAT or GRE waived, please know that you will still be considered for a merit-based scholarship. I do, however, encourage you to visit our website, or we can send this to you in an email, the comprehensive information associated with merit-based scholarship program within the Reh School of Business, as there are other specific policies associated with awards. Some of them are tied to employer agreements and discounts that we might have if you are employed by one of the places that we are partners with. So please be sure to check that out because we do want to make sure you have the full picture. And we're happy to visit with you on the phone or through Zoom or other platforms so we can discuss this more. However, based upon the overall merits of your application, including the anchor points of your GPA and your standardized test, know that these amounts translate into at least a 15% discount on the numbers I provided earlier, up to at least 75%. Just sharing a little bit about what we pride ourselves in and we work so hard for to ensure that the brand of Clarkson MBA is something that is recognized in industry, valued across the business school landscape, and something that we always work hard towards. We've been recognized by many different, again, news agencies about these things, including the top 20 supply chain, earning potential, 1 in 5 of our alum becoming a CEO, owner of a company or executive. And then this November, MBA Compass recently recognized us as a top MBA, online MBA program in New York State. So again, these are really just to try to reiterate our commitment to quality for you, so that when you leave with a Clarkson MBA degree, you're leaving with something that will certainly enhance your career short-term and long-term. So that completes the video today of our online graduate programs in the Reh School of Business. We encourage you to visit the website, email us, or give us a call. Schedule a time to visit with us. You're welcome to come and visit with us, or we'd be happy to schedule a Zoom call or just a traditional call, whatever works for you. But just know that we want to provide you with this overview of what to expect and some of the things associated with our online programs. And we'd be happy to walk you through the application process. If you do decide to start your application, we'd like to offer you an application fee waiver for watching this video. Type in CU Grad Admissions in the waiver code box in the online application, and that will automatically drop the requirement for you to pay that application fee. Again, I'm Josh Lefebvre, Director of the Graduate Business Programs at Clarkson University's Reh School of Business, and I'd like to thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to helping support you as you think about how a graduate degree can help enhance your career for the short and long term, and more importantly, just how we can help be partners in your success. Thank you very much for joining us, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.